You know, living in America and even in the world, uh, all over the world, there has seemingly uh, come to be an attitude by most people that are modernized people, if you will, that they can do anything and everything virtually that they want to do simply because they feel they can. They believe that they are independent for the most part, their own individuals, and I have nothing against that. We're supposed to be independent in our own person or individual. Howbeit, it comes with some constraints, or at least it should. And what I mean by that is this: there are certain laws of nature that we must follow. Must. No, I said must. And it's not your prerogative, it's not a choice, it's not a debate, it's not controversial, even though people will try to make it controversial. Certain laws of nature. Um, this may not sit well with some, what I'm about to say, but it's the truth. Anyway, in this particular video, I want to touch on women's dress, their attire. You know, women seem to be the most sensitive about their appearance. Now, women, in my estimation, for the most part, are beautiful in their own right. And they don't particularly need any outward adornment or any embellishment, any makeup, any certain clothing to make them beautiful. If you really think about it, what's the difference in them and their natural appearance versus them putting on makeup and clothing and accessories and so forth? What's the major difference? One is permanent and the other one is an add-on. So where's the true beauty at? I would venture to say in that which is permanent. In other words, how you were born, your ordinary look. Now we know custom, tradition, cultures have caused people to change the way things have been thousands of years ago. There's nothing wrong with wearing nice clothing, ladies. Nothing wrong with makeup, ladies, if you do it modestly and if you do it using more organic, natural ingredients that won't affect your body in a negative way. There's a lot of chemicals in your skin because your skin needs to breathe because it is living. It has pores. Okay? There's nothing wrong with accessories, bracelets, necklaces, earrings, and even glasses or shades. That's okay also. But I want to delve a little bit deeper in your clothing attire when it comes to tights. Back in the day, they called them sweatpants or jogging pants. And men and women would wear them, and they were loose fitting if you wanted to exercise, work out, or wear something comfortable around the home, or just to go shopping in. But how did we leave that concept or that ideology, if you will, that way or fashion of dressing to the point where we, and I'm not talking about men, I'm talking about women, when you are wearing these clothing, these pants that are form fitting? There's nothing wrong with pants But when you expose yourself, especially when it's too provocative, there is a problem. Now, some of you might say, well, brother teacher, you have the problem. No, I don't. I don't have the problem because there are some deep consequences and ramifications behind wearing tights. You know what tights are. I don't have to tell you what tights are, but I'm going to break it down for you. If you ladies that are listening to me, if you were butt naked and you were in a situation where the public could see you butt naked below the waist, how would you feel? Embarrassed, uncomfortable, violated? That's your privacy. That's your private part. All of us should have enough respect and dignity for self to not expose our nature to the general public, to the millions of people, especially on the internet, social media. But fashion, trends have come along, and women feel as though that they need to jump on the bandwagon and follow what they see other women doing, especially those women that are in entertainment, rappers, singers, Cardi B, Megan the Stallion, Megan the Stallion, excuse me, and various other stars, celebrities, or celebrity types that are females. So, in the example that I just used with the celebrity types, women pattern themselves and their clothing, their wardrobe after these people. Instead of being yourself, how is it that someone can influence you so much to the point where you compromise your own self-respect? And you deserve self-respect. If you want to be respected by real men, honorable, noble men, then you should probably really consider what I'm saying to you, ladies. What I think is very, very shocking is that you can be persuaded so strongly and influenced so strongly by someone else that it causes you to do things that are unethical. Am I judging you? No, I'm not. I don't have any heaven or hell to put anybody in. I'm not judging you. I'm just giving you a point of view. And in the example that I used a moment ago, when I said you wouldn't want to stand in the general public and have your body exposed in the nude or naked, do you think it's any different or very much difference in you wearing tights? Not to mention the women who are full figured or very extremely overweight wearing tights. That's taking it to another level. But ladies, when you wear tights, they form to your body, your butts. And oftentimes, they are in between your legs so tight, the crease of your vagina. And when you see a man jeering at you, or a man looking in between your legs or at your behind, should you say something to that man? What are you looking at? I've seen women do this. What are you staring at? Pervert, freak. All of these statements that you're making are out of place and unwarranted by you, because are you not exhibiting yourself in such a way to make men attracted to your body? Are you not dressed in such a way where you want men to watch you? Maybe just certain men or certain types of men. But when you see men staring at you hard, you feel it necessary to try to make a statement that they're somehow doing something wrong. I mean, you're putting it out there. If you were naked, no pants on at all, men would look. Not just men, but everyone would look. So why is it that much different when you have tights on? I mean, you're only a pinch of material away from your body, as opposed to you wearing something that's a little loose so that you can have circulation. Circulation is important, you know. I don't like the fact that my daughters, so you know that I'm familiar with this, my daughters will wear tights. And I say to them when I see them, and my daughters are grown, and I said, "What's that you're wearing?" They said, "Daddy." They know what I represent. I didn't tell them, these grown ladies, take those off and don't wear them again, because they're grown. They make their own decisions. But I keep putting a bug in their ear, trying to let them know that we're living in a different world than we did many, many years ago, where there are all types of people in society. There are people who are perverts, who have lewd intentions and imaginations, and sexual offenders and predators and things of this sort. Why do you buy into that way in which these people think by giving them something to think about even more? Why do you tempt them, in other words? Are you not satisfied with your own mind, with your own sense of self-pride and dignity and self-esteem, so that you don't compromise those things just to try to have someone attracted to you, just to have someone looking at you and complimenting you? "Girl, that's so nice, that outfit that you have on." And women will compliment one another for wearing the same types of clothing, if you're cut from that cloth. In other words, if that's the way of the generation that you've grown up in. Why and how do you allow generations, for that matter, to define you? You should define yourselves. Not a fashion, not a fad, not a style, not what's in vogue, not what the celebrities are doing, or the rap stars, or Beyonce, or whoever. Not how they dress. Not the things that you see the women in reality TV shows wearing. Love and Hip Hop, New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Texas, it doesn't matter. Why do you allow other women to define you, who you are? And if you have a husband, if you have a man, aren't you putting him under a little duress by the way you dress? Now, when you're at home, if you want to wear something sexy, something alluring, something appealing to the eye, wear it for your man, not for all men, not to be seen of men. You see, I've seen women wearing tights, and they become much more creative with the way they manufacture these things now, these clothing companies. And women will support them, and they'll jump on it and try to have the first pair that comes out, or the first style that comes out by this maker or that brand, or so forth, so that they can outdo the next woman or have it before the next woman has it. They will go and shop in New York and Chicago and try to get these new fashions, in California also, and try to get these new fashions before they have even been out in the stores, just to say, "I've got the newest thing." But it really looks trashy on you. excuse my expression, it really looks slutty on you. Now, I've seen women who go out to the gym to work out, to train, to exercise. They will wear tights and they will wear a long t-shirt to cover the private area, the behind and their vagina. But I've seen women do the opposite. They will wear a t-shirt that comes up above the navel where you can see their belly, even if they're overweight. And the tights will be so tight you can see the crease of their vagina. Or the tights will be in between their butt cheeks. Do you get what I'm saying to you? What I'm saying to you is wearing these super tight clothing, these tights, these leggings that you can barely get on, does not define you as a woman. It doesn't make you a woman. Either you are a woman from a biological and a physiology standpoint, or you are not. If you have fallopian tubes, and if you have breasts, and if you were pregnant, you could give milk to your child, and if you have a vagina that you were born with, you're a woman. Why let the clothes define you being a woman? We, decent men, love you for you and who you are. We don't need the extra stuff. You leave nothing to the imagination the way you dress. And I'm just talking about tights right now. Not to mention when you wear these low-cut tops and you can almost see your nipples popping out of the tops because they're cut so low. Especially if you have been really endowed with large breasts. Whatever happened to your dignity? Whatever happened to the respect for you or yourself? And this is really the hurting part, is that you raise your daughters the same way. You allow your children from a little baby, when they turn 2 years old and 3 years old, to start wearing tights. They're 8 years old, 10 years old, 12 years old, and then they're 13 years old, and they haven't known anything any different, so they don't see anything wrong with it until they start coming into their womanhood and have their first period and so forth. And then the guys will start looking at them because they start to develop breasts and things like this. But you've already groomed them to look slutty. Now, this may be a bitter pill for you to swallow. I'm sorry, but I'm not. I'm sorry that you don't want to accept what I'm saying, because you are set in your own ways and because you are insecure. And only women that are insecure will defend their argument that tights are okay. Only women that are insecure would do that. Only women that are insecure would attack what I'm saying about them wearing these types of clothing. You've got to be insecure and not sure of yourself and not love yourself. But women who can read the context of what I'm saying will understand or comprehend what I'm saying to be factual. Do you stand a better chance walking down the street wearing a what we used to call a warm-up suit or a sweatsuit that's loose fitting, ladies, of a man staring at you and possibly wanting to rape you, versus you wearing a halter top, belly showing, breast exposed halfway, and tights in between your butt crack and your vagina? Which one do you think you're more susceptible to have a man think about what he can do to you if he had the opportunity? And if he was any type of creep, as some might label them, or sexual predator, don't you think he would go for the second example? The woman with the provocative clothing on, the tights? You know it's true. If you look at some cultures, especially in the Middle East, Muslims, Muslim women, they stay covered, loose apparel. That's one thing that I can hand to them. I'm not saying that American women have to dress like that necessarily, but I'm giving you an example. They don't expose themselves so you don't have to look at them like that. So why are you dressing like that? You need to take a page from their book. Not necessarily the clothing that they're wearing, but the idea behind the clothing that they're wearing. The concept. Stop wearing things so form-fitting to attract all of these crazy guys. And stop going on social media, taking all of these selfies, wearing these tight clothes, and all of the selfies that's on these social media platforms is just you wearing a different outfit that's tight and provocative. It's not the family. You don't have your little children standing beside you, mom, as in a family pose. It's all about you. Here we go. That's you all day long. Facebook, YouTube. Who you trying to impress? You better love yourself for who you are and stop trying to be something that you're not before you get your heart broken and maybe even hurt from a physical standpoint by someone that sees past what you're doing as an opportunity to take advantage of you. What I have just shared with you are words of wisdom. Wise men don't always impart information to people that's well received. Not always. Few and far between, especially when the whole world almost, note that I said almost the whole world, is crazy. The majority of the world is unsettled in their minds. The majority of the world is unstable, dysfunctional. We have a small percentage of the world that has people that really see things for how they really are, and they walk according to that. And they're the ones who gets crapped on the most because they try to represent standards and principles that really the whole world should be following. And that's not putting any emphasis on how great of a person I am. I'm just one individual amongst many. Just giving you my viewpoint again. So, when I see my granddaughters wearing tight clothing, I don't attack them. I may mention it, but I'll look at my daughter, their mother. So why are you allowing them to wear those super tight clothes that they can hardly get on and off? And they sort of, it is serious. It's not just simply me being old-fashioned. Those of you that are watching me right now, especially you ladies, this may not have been what you wanted to hear, but it's really what you needed to hear. You haven't heard me personify anyone. I haven't called anyone's names out. I'm not attacking anyone, and I've already told you that. The respect and the dignity that I have for self is what allows me to talk to you the way that I do. I would appreciate the same respect in your response to this video. I'm not loud. I'm not using profanity. I'm not grotesque. I'm just shooting from the hip. So, that was really it. I may not change your mind. You may continue to wear your tights. Then again, you may consider what I've said. and modify your wardrobe and the way in which you present it and or wear it. But think on these things, ladies. Think about self-respect and even self-preservation. This has been Brother Teacher Reginald. I want to bid you a beautiful evening, afternoon, or morning, wherever you find yourself as you watch this video. You take care. And Yahweh loves you. I love you. So long.